Hi everybody. So this is the 2 p.m. stream for post-tropical storm Arthur, the first named storm of the season. We have basically the remnants of it just remaining right now, and it is moving across the Mississippi and Alabama and already creating a little bit of noise on the radar. So we're going to take a deeper look at where it is right now and track it for the rest of today, especially since our weather impact does start today. So I'm going to take the screen full for us to look at the rest of what we can expect for the afternoon, especially with a couple of storms already starting to fire up ahead of it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take this full. And we do have that weather impact for today. So we have been talking about it for the last couple of days, and now that today has finally come, the weather impact, as you may have heard already, is for the excessive rainfall from the remnants and the remainders of the storm and the potential severe storms that can also come out of it as we head into the evening and the overnight tomorrow. So the main concerns will be flooding concerns, damaging wind gusts, and the possible spin-up tornado risk. And we do have a couple updates on the SPC and storm outlooks as of this morning. So right now I just wanted to go ahead and give us a quick look at what we have right now on our sky cams. We did have a couple of storms fire up this afternoon already, and they have been very fast moving, up to about 20 miles an hour. So you may have noticed during the midday shows that we had a couple of showers in Dublin, but it's already moved out of the picture already, and we did have a couple of showers in Warner Robins and Macon earlier today already. Temperatures are still warming up. We're in the mid to upper 80s, low 90s in a few spots, and the mugginess is out of control today. You probably have noticed when you stepped out the door that it is very humid. We have some very high numbers in terms of the dew points, upper 70s, low 80s, so much darker than that muggy icon up in the upper right hand corner. So we do have a lot of moisture to deal with for today and for these potential showers and storms that will continue to move into this afternoon. Current wind gusts are already starting to increase this afternoon. We do have consistent wind speeds of up to 13 miles per hour and some gusts already reaching the low 20s. And those will continue to actually keep going as we head into the later afternoon and especially the overnights, and that will all really come with the remnants of the storm. So right now, as you can see, yesterday it did say Tropical Storm Arthur on there. It didn't stay as a tropical storm too much longer. Now it's just a low pressure system, and we're very much used to low pressure systems. They're one of the driving forces of a lot of our rainfall, and a lot of that moisture from the tropical system has started to filter its way east. As you can tell by the arrows, that's the flow of it, and that's why we're issuing all of the alerts that we have due to the excess amount of tropical moisture, which will bring excess amount of moisture to these showers and storms. So taking a wide look picture right now of what it currently looks like, that's the remnants and the post-tropical storm of Arthur. It's already firing up lots of flash flood warnings, which are the green boxes, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. Earlier today, there was a big red box. If you noticed during the midday show, that was a tornado watch box that was put on earlier. But for now, we already have some of those impacts affecting places in Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and starting especially the center of the circulation is moving into Alabama already. Oh, there we go. We just have one severe thunderstorm warning pop up a little north of Albany at the moment. It is firing up some showers and storms ahead of the circulation, and those have been very fast moving. But overall, we did get an update on the Storm Prediction Center. We were outlined on a level 1 risk yesterday, and this morning, half of our counties were actually upgraded to a level 2 risk. So we'll take a closer look at the current status of the remnants of Tropical Storm Arthur. It is still firing lots of severe thunderstorm warnings. It did have a couple of tornado warnings and the flash flood warnings. So a lot of these concerns that aren't currently in our location right now is the concerns that we are anticipating as we head into the late afternoon and especially the overnight hours while everyone is sleeping. And that's why our weather impact alert is for Thursday afternoon to Friday morning. So a lot of these impacts, as you can see, will be moving into our direction as we head later into today. But ahead of the storm, we did have a couple of pop-up showers and storms by the midday hour, and especially with the heat of the day and a lot of that forcing ahead of the system, we do have some very fast-moving storms that have packed quite a punch with them, with lots of lightning associated with them. Some of them had some gusts of up to 40 miles per hour, especially the storm in Putnam County moving out and the storm that was in Washington County. But overall, for the rest, at least for the next couple hours, this is what you can expect: some more storms firing behind it and start to push through before this main circulation starts to move in later this afternoon and evening. So we'll take it step by step on the future view on timing and what we can expect. So yesterday, it had a pretty good agreement on some of the isolated cells ahead of the circulation firing up in the early afternoon, and we're seeing some of that right now. So the model has been a bit consistent with it, and as we take it through, we see some more cells firing up within the next hour or so, and then we see some more widespread clusters starting to build together by the 3, 4, even 5 o'clock hour. We'll continue to see this push through. I'll take this a little bit slower. We'll see some more cells come together and push through within the evening. And then we have the main circulation kind of centered west of Atlanta. My pointer doesn't work on the future view, but you can notice a lot of the wind arrows that are coming up towards Atlanta and some of the wind arrows coming down from the northern part. That's where the circulation is on the border of Alabama and Georgia, and we'll see that circulation kind of move counterclockwise, and we see this first batch and line of storms formed into a more organized line in the evening, so around that 7, 8 o'clock hour. And it has been a little bit earlier. Yesterday it had the line moving in around 9, and it's had more agreement since last night that I'll be moving in around 8. So it'll continue to move in, and this is where our concerns for isolated heavy flash flooding, those wind gusts, and even some possible spin-up tornadoes are the concerns in the late night to the overnight hours. So this will give us widespread heavy rainfall throughout the overnight while most of us are sleeping. And then it's almost like the second batch of lines of storms kind of continue on into the overnight hours Friday morning, and it'll move its way towards our southern counties with a last line of storms by the morning. We'll continue to move this kind of slowly so everyone can see. So by the late morning, that possibly 9, 10, 11 o'clock hour is when we can expect the system to fully move out of the picture, and then we come back to a very summer-like pattern, what we were seeing before with the daily showers and storms in the afternoon. So if you had any plans for Friday in the evening, it looks like we'll still be nice and clear, maybe a few pop-up showers and storms within the afternoon and evening, but for the most part, the system kind of clears away quickly, and we look like we'll start to clear out right after that. So the main concerns that we do have, yet again, is for the early parts. So I'm going to take future view back yet again slowly and go through it. So we are seeing some of those isolated showers and storms pop up ahead of the storm right now. We'll continue to see more of that as we head in later into the afternoon, and then we'll see some more of an organized line as the circulation of the system starts to move in from Alabama into Georgia, and we're looking at that 8, 9 o'clock hour, And if it does come a little bit sooner, a little bit later, around that 7 to 9, you'll want to be home and have ways to receive alerts, because this is where our main concerns for the isolated flash flooding, heavy rainfall, lots of lightning, heavy wind gusts, and also the possibility of a spin-up tornado or two is possible throughout the evening and overnight hours. So we'll take Future View out and look at some of the threats and advisories and concerns that we do have for the rest of today. Taking Future View out onto Friday and Saturday. Saturday looks like we start off nice and dry as we take it down to Sunday for Father's Day. That's as far out as we have it. Our main concerns is the Future View on these wind gusts. We have had very strong winds already this year, just through severe thunderstorm warnings. With this, it's very similar. Wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour is expected. So our main concerns for these Future View wind gusts, as we can see, the circulation starts to move in the overnight hours, especially with lots of heavy rainfall pouring. It does make the soil very wet, and it does cause it to be a little bit more unstable for trees, power lines, with some heavy wind gusts along with the heavy rainfall. We do have that wind advisory from 6 p.m. tonight until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for winds of 15 to 20 miles per hour and gusts of 35 and possibly even 40 miles per hour as we head into the overnight. The Storm Prediction Center did level us up to a level 1 and a level 2. Yesterday we were only in a level 1 risk, but now we have the additional slight risk that's highlighted in the yellow still. The potential threats are the same: strong winds, flash flooding, still possible spin-up tornadoes as we head into the overnight especially. Not only is that the only concern we have, the heavy rainfall, and a couple of models have gone back and forth on the amount of rainfall that we will receive. So the average that Ben and I were talking about last night that we have seen consistently throughout the models is at least 2 to 3 and 4 inches of rain. It really just depends on the path that the circulation takes. If it takes a little bit of a northern path or if it takes a little bit of a southern path, it's still, a lot of these totals could vary. So I wouldn't stay locked in on where the totals are exactly, but know that we could expect that much rainfall. And we're not the only ones receiving some very heavy rainfall. The 5-day rainfall total, just wait a moment, Max has a little bit of a hard time coming up with the colors very quickly, especially places west of us that we're seeing a lot of the alerts right now do have much bigger totals of at least 5 to 10 inches, especially in Mississippi and Alabama. But then closer to home, we are looking still at the average of 2.5 to 5 inches of rain. So that's why we have the flood watch. I would still include everybody in this in terms of the flood watch. Areas that can receive excessive rainfall starting today and tomorrow. And the excessive rainfall outlook is for isolated flash flooding. And we did have some of this expand out. We had very small portions of the red yesterday for Taylor and Macon County, but now the flash flooding risk of numerous flash floodings has increased since of yesterday afternoon. So with wind advisories and SPC out risk for a level 1 and 2 is in place, and also flash flood warnings, there is a lot of factors to take in mind of what to look for and to be aware of as we head into the rest of today and tomorrow. And we have received lots of rainfall. This is the previous 5 days, and we've received daily rainfall with those afternoon showers and storms each and every day. So this will just only add to what we have already in the last 5 days. Some spots have already received at least 1 to 2, almost 3 inches of rain in our northern counties, and a little bit less in some of our southern counties. As those numbers pop up, there's still some places near Jeffersonville that saw 3.9 inches of rain. So a lot of this will continue to still add up. I'm going to go ahead and look at our radar right now on what's currently active at the moment and see how many severe thunderstorm warnings and flash flood warnings are currently active from the system already. So the remnants of Tropical Storm Arthur is towards the west currently, so we haven't received the big impacts of it from our weather impact alert. We do have a couple of showers and storms firing up in front of it that we did see yesterday, and it has had lots of agreements with the models. But right now, what it's currently impacting is portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. So several flash flood warnings are those boxes in green, lots of lightning associated. It's very hard to see some of the yellow boxes right here, but right here there's a severe thunderstorm warning and also one right here. Earlier there was a tornado watch box, but that has already expired for portions of Alabama. And then now we have a severe thunderstorm warning just southwest to us, north of Albany, moving northeast very soon into possibly Crisp County and Dooley County. So this is what we have currently in terms of our radar. Lots of pop-up showers and storms ahead of the circulation already starting to move through. And if we take it on future view really slowly yet again, the main impacts that we're looking at do start between now and for the rest of today and into tonight. So we do have the showers and storms that we do see right now ahead. We'll see some more clusters start to come together in the later afternoon, so around the 4 or 5 o'clock hour. And then the main circulation and the outer bands of the remnants will start to move in around that 8 to 9 o'clock hour. The circulation in itself is a little bit north of us, so as you can see, it'll continue to move counterclockwise, bringing in lots of moisture from the Gulf, winds moving out of the south and southwest, and it'll continue to move on. And this is still our primary concern for the flash flooding, the possibility of some spin-up tornadoes, and yet again some severe thunderstorm warnings within the overnight hours as we head into Friday morning. So this is why we have the weather impact until Friday for half the day, let's say the early morning, because this line still continues on out into the early morning, and we'll start to see the clearing by midday. So if you had anything to do later this afternoon, I would make sure to move any of those plans inside, especially as we do still have the possibility of some severe weather within the overnight hours especially. And then have ways to receive alerts, especially in the overnight, due to it being nighttime and everyone is asleep. This is a very continuous track as we go throughout the overnight hours. Ben will be with you guys tonight, and Ansley will be doing a handoff with him in the morning, especially as this still stays very continuous throughout the overnight hours. Still, our biggest concerns that we have been talking about with the weather impact alert is for the excessive rainfall, the flash flooding, and damaging wind gusts with those possible tornado risks. So you'll want a way to see alerts. You'll want a way to receive alerts throughout the overnight hours. And if you see any standing bodies of water, definitely don't drive into it. Always move away from it, and be aware of any safe spaces that you do have within your household, especially if there is, by chance, some stronger storms that do end up forming into the overnight hours. All right, let's take a look. I went through I'm taking a look at a few comments to answer. Yes, get all your battery packs charging and battery lights located. with fresh batteries in case of power outages. There's still the possibility, obviously, of a couple of power outages happening just due to heavy amounts of rainfall. With tropical storm systems, the reason they become a little bit more excessive is due to all of the moisture that it is pulling with it. Something we do talk about is the east side of the storm being kind of like the dirty side of the storm, and that really is due to the way that the system is spinning. So it moving in a counterclockwise motion. As you can see, it's spinning in this direction. It's pulling so much moisture, and it's firing up a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. We have lots of lightning associated with it, and with it we have some very deep moisture within these clouds, which will create very heavy and steady rainfall rates. So something that we are going to be looking at as we head into the afternoon and the nighttime is a lot of these storms training in same locations. So especially with, if you had seen the future view, if let's say one of the lines moves through and does repeated passes in a certain location, that does cause concerns for those isolated flash floodings and warnings. And then yet again, with heavy winds and the possibility of still some strong storms to some possible tornado risk, that does cause the concerns for trees to come down and power outages. So if you are a deep sleeper, make sure you have a way to receive some alerts within the overnight hours. I'm taking a look at a few risks. A look at a few of the comments. Yeah, tornadoes and flooding are not a good mixture, Alicia. I definitely agree. Will we see any hail? I don't think we'll see any hail with this. A lot of this has been mainly with the concerns of the heavy rainfall rates and very strong wind gusts. And we do have a lot of spin in the atmosphere already, especially with this being a low pressure system. There already is spin present in the atmosphere, so that does increase our concern more for even some spin ups like those EF0s and EF1s that we saw a couple months back in March, where they weren't long training tornadoes, but if anything, they did still create some damage, bringing some trees down, pulling trees out of the ground, and things like that. So those are still our main concerns as we head into the overnight hours and tomorrow. And yet again, once all of this starts moving its way towards our area, we'll see very continuous, nonstop heavy rainfall for quite a few hours starting later tonight. So if you have a way of getting home early tonight from work and making sure you're just staying weather aware as we head into the rest of today and into the morning hours, I would still go ahead and do so. We have a couple of warnings sparking around us right now. This storm right here, northeast of Albany, I do see it pushing northeast into Crisp and Dooley County, probably on the very edge of Crisp County into Dooley County. So you might hear a very loud noise and dark clouds starting to move in very, very soon. Overall, the rest of our area just has some pop-up showers and storms with still lots of lightning associated with them, and they're kind of pushing out very quickly. A lot of these storms are moving very fast, some of them around 20 miles per hour, but we do see some wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour currently. So this is what the radar looks overall. We do have that level 1 and level 2 risk for our area. It's kind of split in half as those showers and storms continue to create and push through as we head into the rest of this afternoon and evening. I'm going to go through future view one last time before the stream ends in about 2 minutes. And if we do see some severe thunderstorm warnings start to pop up, I'm here this afternoon, and we also have Chief Meteorologist Ben Jones coming in this evening, and we'll be with you guys all night long for the system to start to push in later tonight. So we'll take a quick look again at future view before we say bye. and just time out when this is really pushing through ahead of some of these scattered showers and storms. So right now, still a few showers and storms starting to collectively come in. Oh, now I hear the beep. I think that storm that we were just talking about has moved into our area. Give me one moment. I'm alerting our media team to make sure in our production so they're aware that we do have a beep right now. There we go. I'm gonna take a quick moment to look at the severe thunderstorm warning. We did receive, oh, it wasn't a severe thunderstorm warning just yet. We received a tornado watch for Bibb, Crawford, Crisp, Dooley, Houston, Macon, Monroe, Peach, Taylor, and Upson counties in effect until 11 p.m. tonight. So that was the beep I just heard in the studio that you may also have heard throughout the microphone was for that. All right, we are going to end the stream right here, but we're going to leave the 24 radar on there. It's on the 13 WMAZ app, so download the app, download it on your TV. I'm gonna bring the camera in full right now. As we head into the rest of the afternoon and tonight, that weather impact alert is still in place for this afternoon into the overnight and tomorrow, so you'll want to make sure you have a way to receive alerts overnight. Chief Meteorologist Ben Jones will be with you all night long, and just make sure to stay safe and check in with us on 13 WMAZ for any updates.